create just this culture of we can have all the fun in the world as soon as we take care of business and like get everything that needs to get done.
We want to keep growing this thing. We have big ambitions, right? Like we have been heads down for the past 2 years full time, and it's been heads down focusing on the content. Now we have room to think and like come up with creative ideas, partnering with brands, bringing on a producer, bringing on a potentially head of sales to actually skyrocket this thing. And with the overall goal of being the voice of the ad industry, we're gonna freaking do it.
I love it. Hi, we're at the rooftop at Advertising Week. This is Soul and Science Crashing Can, and we do big ideas, short interviews, and Mediterranean views. I'm your host, Jason Harris.
I'm Lindsay Harris, and we are joined by Jack Westerkamp and Geno Schellenberger, who are the founders of Break and Entering Media. Why don't you both, before we dive in with some fun questions, tell us a little bit about Breaking and Entering?
Yeah, go ahead, Jack. You're really good at this.
Thanks, Geno. Yes, I am.
That means that he didn't want to do it, and now he's asking.
He is the best at it.
We make content about advertising and marketing news, so do it all mainly on social media. We do a bunch like short form videos, podcasts. We have a live show, all dedicated to creating the best content about what's going on in advertising and marketing.
And you go to all the big events.
Go to a lot of the big events, of course. You gotta set up, especially like Cannes is huge from like a content perspective. Like everyone comes here and talks about like the business meetings, and because there's so many high profile people here. And then for us, it's like you get so many great interviews
All at once.
and you get a lot of people that are interested, and it's a good opportunity to talk about what's happening in the industry.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
vibe check time. What is your can vibe in 3 words?
Can vibe in 3 words. All right. Really, really dope.
Excited, personal, dominate.
Do you want to talk about dominate?
Just dominate everything you do. I've been getting a lot of these like TikTok like John Gruden or like coaches.
Dominate.
Yeah,
You gotta
like
go out from the inside, dominate.
Yeah, like a Geno Oriema, like these like big time coaches or like motivational figures, and they're all about like just dominate every day.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, it does. Like I think about like when I go and get my cold brew in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I gotta dominate this walk to the cold brew factory.
It's down to like the walk.
Yeah, like
I thought you were
every
gonna say I
aspect
got
of
my
life.
cold brew and then I know I have to dominate the day.
Of course.
But you're dominating the walk.
He just dominates all the time.
Yeah,
Wow.
the walk, the consumption. We talk about this all the time. Geno and I heard this from an ad executive, John McKelvey. He said, you got to caffeinate with intent. You know, like it's one thing just to, get your coffee, but it's another thing to really do it with intent. And so when I think about dominating, that's what I think about.
All right. Speaking of dominating, let me ask you a question. What do you think the ROI of Cannes is for you?
What do you think, Geno?
ROI for us, exposure to some of the best professionals in the business. Like really, it's like we're friends with a lot of these people that we're talking with while we're here. So it's like cementing those relationships and really helping out our audience back at home understand like what do you need to know so that brand love for Breaking Out, and we hope to grow while we're here.
There's you talk about, especially like with creators now, that's like the big thing at Cannes this year. I wouldn't really say that, like, I don't know if we're like the typical creator that people are kind of talking about when they're talking about that conversation, but ultimately like there are a lot of tech brands. There's a lot of brands here and they're looking to find ways to, spend their media dollars. And we think like with this platform, what Breaking and Entering it is kind of sort of represents, or at least we try to represent what the new age of media looks like. So obviously for us, like from an ROI perspective, like you try to get as much exposure as possible, but ultimately for us, we've always found that like the money for the business kind of comes in a lagging manner from really good content. Yeah. So ultimately that's all we care about.
Dominate the content, the money will follow.
That's right. Just dominate. Don't think about the outcomes. If you can just focus on dominating each moment.
I love it.
So Breaking and Entering started right as a pandemic project, and then went into a podcast, and then a news show, and then a live show. And it's all different things had a really interesting evolution. Can you tell us about that journey and what kind of inspired that? And then how do you keep up with all this content demand?
Yeah, I mean, it started with a love for this industry, and it's the love for advertising, the people behind it. I think that's what has changed since we started it 6 years ago. It's like the realization point is like, yes, love ads originally, love watching a good 30-second spot, love seeing what wins the work here. But what for me personally, I've realized over the years, it's like the people behind this stuff that are making the ads, making the work, coming up with the ideas, like you guys, like that's the coolest part about that. And sharing the stories of the people is like what works really well for our content, the people and the stories behind it.
And you started out almost as a love for the industry, and you wanted people to learn, and you wanted to bring that knowledge. And what you found is that the people, it's really all about the people.
Totally. It's I definitely idolize a lot of the folks, and I still do today, but then getting to meet them and hang out with them, it's like, it's just as good as like what I thought beforehand. So it's really cool to share that with everybody back at home.
Anything to add?
I mean, like on the content side,
Dominate.
Yeah, you got to dominate the content. But it's the nice thing. What I think is really fun about like this journey is like creating for social media feels very competitive inherently, and I think that's what's really fun. Is it's like you kind of wake up and you create something every day, and through this journey, like you find out like what works, and then the next day that thing that you thought worked doesn't work anymore because the algorithms shift or preferences change. And so I think the journey like is really, really like a fun thing because there's always peaks and valleys when you're like making content for social media. And I think that's been really fun for us.
You got to stay frosty.
You got to
stay on your toes.
It's crazy. It's wild.
What's something that you maybe thought was going to work that didn't? And then what's something that you were like, oh, this isn't going to work, but then it wound up killing it?
I think we thought podcasts in general, like for us, like we were potentially like going to produce podcasts for other people, or actually the larger theme was like producing for other brands and companies. Like when we first started, we had no clue what we were doing, and we just like went full time. We quit our jobs, moved to New York City in a 1-bedroom apartment. We were trying to figure out what's the best way to make money. So we were like, well, we have these skill sets of podcasting, a little bit of content creation. We can do that for other people and they'll pay us a lot of money. And that really didn't work for us. And we took that time and investment and put it back into our own content and grew our own platform. And that was the right route, like refocusing on our stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
Last year was your breakout year, I would say. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
so Wall Street Journal, you got covered. That sort of exploded it wide open. And people that knew you guys, they knew that was going to happen. But a lot of people maybe hadn't discovered you yet and then did after that. What has changed in a year? Because that was Cannes last year. What has changed in a year?
Everything. Yeah, I mean, there's you think about like follower accounts and metrics and all that. It is obviously exploded from where we were at even during when we last year at Cannes. I feel like we kind of like had a little bit of within like the niche community of advertising and mainly just advertising agencies. Like we had enough momentum, a little bit of mojo. But then I think in the year since then, we've caught a little bit of maybe more like quote mainstream sort of audience, which is really exciting. We always want to stay core to like advertising and marketing because I think it's never been more important to be as niche as possible. But to have a little bit more like of the eyeballs from outside and like breaking through in mainstream, like having more posts that get seen by millions of people versus just within the industry is really exciting because then you pull people in to understand something that they're exposed to every day. Like everyone sees ads. And to be able to share the stories of the people that made your favorite ads and have that get mainstream access is really, really exciting.
One thing that I noticed, might be right, might not be right. I think you guys went from sort of covering and doing interviews, which you still do, but it really catapulted you into a place where agencies and brands break news. Like they come to you first versus you're covering something that's already happening. Do I have that right, or is that a little off?
Yeah, I mean, it's been done, but I don't think that's the general strategy at this moment. Like the ad agents and ad weeks of the world, the campaigns of the world, they're breaking stories. That's their main priority. Who gets to scoop first? That's great for them. They serve a great purpose for that, and they do it better than us. And I think that's completely fine. I think what's the differentiator for us and what we're learning and we're getting better at is the curation and the taste that we have to pull through sources that are not just from direct pitches from PR people, but Jack does a really good job. And everybody on our team now that's grown to 2 full-time employees, multiple contractors, they're looking at their algorithms and they can tell us what they find interesting that's related to this industry. And then we'll cover that through the taste that we have. We're a filter. I think that's a better way to look at
I love that.
curation.
All right. Can you
Yeah.
give a shout out to the rest of your team?
Yeah, so that's going to be Ellie was our first full-time employee. She's with us still.
We love Ellie.
over a
Yeah, she's
year
great.
She's
at the
awesome.
company, producer, and then Jack Williamson is our another hire that we have, full-time editor as well. They're both here, first job out of college
Wow.
Amazing.
at Cannes. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Is Jack the jacked guy?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's got good. He's freaking. He dominates.
Does he
dominates
does
the
he
weight
even lift?
room.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I ask him every day. Do you even lift? Because it's kind of like I can't have Jack frame mogging me.
It's the same name. It's
Yeah.
just he's
That's why he's
dominating
behind the
you.
camera.
We gotta keep him behind the
Yeah,
camera.
but he's
he
very
can't.
incredible.
He wouldn't fit in frame here.
Well, yeah, no, he wouldn't. They
jacked up.
they
Jacked
do
up.
they do an amazing job because they have a really hard job. They're like have to put on a live show 3 times a week, and like there's not a lot of live show experience out there, and so they've had to figure it out like on the fly, and I think that's what's been really fun. Like we've been able to like get a live show up and running. We've been doing it for like 3 or 4 months now, but it took us about a few weeks to get it up and running, and then just like consistently doing it is something that I think only they could do because they're young, they're hungry, they're committed, they want to learn, they're trying new things, and I think that's like it's really impressive.
And
I think
that's-
it's always great to see. Sorry to cut you off. It's great to see because I think your content always looks professional, like, and your reels look really good, and your carousels. It's always really well designed. It's amazing to me that you don't have like 15 or 20 people behind you. It's a really small crew. It's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, I
go
was gonna say, and to go off that, it does look professional, but it also is real, which is why I think viewers like you guys, because it just seems like real and authentic. It's not like overly polished. You guys are who you are, and that's awesome.
Thank you.
But I also think the viewers would probably love to know, because you guys do see all of this work. What do you think is like a checklist for breakthrough ideas?
Oh, I mean, it's the breakthrough stuff. If you look at like the core principles of what's newsworthy, like it hasn't changed. So like for us, it's like, is it timely? Is it coming up really fast? Like the thing that I think of is the Coors Light billboard. Like when Shohei Ohtani, I think it was him, hit the baseball on the sign in the field. It went dark, and then Coors immediately put out a new can with that little mark. Okay, I think any of those
Like
things you see-
culturally relevant.
relevant, timeliness, like these things are not new. And then also it's just like Jack has a really kind of interesting taste, his comedy style, something will make him chuckle. Like the Instacart bananas might get him and he loves it and we'll have to cover it, and I agree.
Have you seen in the creative industry, you've been covering it for a couple years, have you seen work getting more brand focused and more interesting and out there versus safer work? Have you noticed there's a trend to do more breakthrough work, or do you think it's kind of been pretty consistent?
No, I think it's getting like it's trending to be more breakthrough in my opinion. Because if you think about it, like the stuff that's breakthrough like does not really look like an ad or feel like an ad. And, like that's kind of the point. Like on social media, especially, like you see it kind of gets talked to and ad nauseum, but like the idea of a micro drama or like the idea of like a brand creating an organic social series and putting money into it and starting it as organic and like not having guaranteed views like from the get-go, I think is a breakthrough sort of thing that like shows that there's a clear demand from brands more than ever to like gain attention.
Yeah.
It's never been harder.
Mhm.
It's like you have to do that or else else like you're kind of just burning money. So I think to me, like in the last 2 years, it's been really cool to see that kind of stuff, to see like an Adidas put out a 5-minute World Cup ad, or like Nike does a 5.5-minute video, and it's like fucking insane, and you don't really know what's happening, but
Yeah.
you're like, this is kind of crazy.
And a big investment.
Yeah, it's a massive
Behind it,
investment.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
a ton of money behind it. So that's what I've noticed. I don't know if you have anything.
Yeah, the brands that get it. Like they're gonna be always on. If you look at Kraft Heinz, like they're still putting out like these little stunty social things that are really funny, hitting culture. They don't have to do that. Kraft Heinz is the best product in the market. They're going to be for their ketchup. Like but they still continue to push, which is great.
T. Kaplan
Yeah, they also
on our plane, by the way.
Let's
there you
freaking
go.
go.
I also like. I think when you see B2B get kind of like out there, that's kind of how you know. Like these brands that have no business doing anything funny or interesting.
it works for the consumer stuff. Why don't we try it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, which is cool to see, and like I think that kind of is a sign. If you see like a ramp, like these B2B, these tech software
Yeah.
companies, and they're like, we're gonna do crazy stuff.
because really they don't need the average person to know their brand. It
No.
doesn't really help them,
No.
but it creates brand equity and brand love.
Yeah, exactly. And it just like it creates so much separation from all their competitors. And it's like the classic line is like, I think Greg Hahn told us this, but it's like business to human. It's not business to business. It's still like business to human.
I
You still
love
have to
it.
sell to you have to sell to a person.
Yeah.
So if that person who's your buyer for your tech software
Likes you.
likes your brand and thinks you're funny,
It'll
you got a
pick
good
you
shot.
that versus someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we get into one of your favorite questions, I think you guys are super busy, but it also seems like you love what you do. So what would you both say is your favorite part of the job and the hardest part?
Favorite part of the job is when we're done researching. Ellie and JR have all the graphics. The guests are lined up. It's a Tuesday morning. It's 10:55 a.m. Eastern time in New York City. And we're about to go live for anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. And we have the guests lined up. It's Jack and I ready to roll. And we're prepared. And we hit the live show. We start going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the best. I mean, it's just like just Geno and I hanging out, which is crazy. It's crazy that that's our job, which is very fun. Thank you. It is very heartwarming. I would agree with that. I think the worst part is probably like you have to deal with so much.
10:55 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. I get
No, when it's
dragged.
over for me, because then
Yeah.
it's like the
That's a
clip.
rush.
Then it's like the clipping and all that. It's like, how do you package all of that, which is so important. And Jack does a great job. I don't really do any of that stuff. Jack does that.
No, I mean
really well.
it's kind of like it is like what we've kind of been able to figure out is like the operation. It like matters so much. Like you can have like Geno and I think it starts with Geno and like the discipline of like doing breaking entering full like on the side, but probably felt like a full-time job for 4.5 years to like create just this culture of we can have all the fun in the world as soon as we take care of business and like get everything that needs to get done. I think there's a lot that like, people don't see. And like, that's the whole point. Like we want it to feel like,
It feels like effortless. It also feels like more overnight than it was as well.
Yeah,
like
for
when you
sure.
mentioned 4.5 years. So what are you like in 6.5 years now?
Yeah.
So it feels like it happened over a course of like 18 months,
Yeah.
It's like the classic line, like it's 6.5 year overnight success kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's like, it's a lot of fun. We obviously still have a lot of ambitions and room to grow, which is exciting, but ultimately like it's been a great journey, but it starts with a lot of discipline.
What do you think the worst part is?
The worst part, like I feel like anytime payroll's coming up,
Like the one bedroom maybe was the
Yeah.
worst
the one
part?
bedroom sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a battle.
Yeah, I think anytime payroll's coming up, you just like I freak out. You wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, are we
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, you got to pay for a gym membership for that guy.
That's right.
You know,
JR, you put that in his contract.
Ellie needs new
He's
clothes.
got LA Fitness in there.
He's got his Equinox $550
Yeah.
a month gym membership.
Right.
Yeah, it's like when you we've thankfully been able to have the business success where we have been able to pay our employees. But
Say that again to the camera.
we do pay our employees well. We don't
They get paid well.
You say well?
we don't have health insurance, but we do that. It's all good because they're young.
Anyone want any sponsor out there? Health insurance.
Health insurance, yeah,
that's a good one.
But it's like when you you're doing the math of like, okay, when this check clears, we'll have payroll. Like when you do with like your credit card kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, what's the future of breaking and entering?
Oh, we're going big time. I mean, like we want to keep growing this thing. We have big ambitions, right? Like we have been heads down for the past 2.5 or just under 2 years full time. And it's been heads down focusing on the content. Now we have the live show set up. That's our bread and butter. So now we have room to think and like come up with creative ideas, partnering with brands, bringing on a producer, bringing on a potentially head of sales to actually skyrocket this thing. And with the overall goal of being the voice of the ad industry, we're gonna freaking do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Before we dive into the lightning round, this is a question that we both love to ask everyone, so you both have to answer. What would you say your life mantra is, or kind of like your guiding philosophy?
Go ahead, Jack. You're good at this stuff. Dominate.
It's caffeinate with intent. I think there's something about it. There's some, maybe the deeper meaning is like the routine, like having a set routine and like making sure that you like take care of yourself. And for me that means walking and going and buying a $7 cold brew. But yeah, there's caffeinate with intent, dominate, those are kind of the life mantras.
Well, doing
All right,
anything with
bro.
intent, right? Because it's like if you're doing it with intention, you're doing it for real. You're doing it
Right.
with meaning.
Yeah.
So that's
I think like
that's
actually,
great.
like honestly though, like I think there is something to be said about like not taking yourself too seriously. Obviously, when I say all that, like I'm obviously joking. Like I don't actually,
Yeah,
I'm not that intense.
we picked up on it.
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
for the viewers at home,
Yeah.
but I think that there's like I think it's like the most important thing that we can do is never take ourselves or anything that we do too seriously, and it's just always I feel like how I've been, and I think Geno probably feels the same way, and it guides how we hire people, it guides the things that we do, it guides our everyday life, and I think it's super important, especially like when things get stressful. That's the time to really
What I heard is, if I can play it back to you,
Yeah.
is dominate, but keep it light and lively.
Yeah, it's like dominate, but have fun, and like
Have fun.
don't take yourself too seriously, and control what you can control. Those are kind of the things I think are really important.
I love that.
Mine is I've got nothing else to do. Like I feel like whenever like I'm stressed out or working too much, I feel like what else do I have to do? Like this is all I got.
That's it. What
Sort of
else?
like being present, kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, lightning round.
All right, you start.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
All right, lightning round. One word answers, please.
Okay,
It could be more than one if you want, because everyone
1 to
is
3
cheated.
word
So-
answers.
I like the challenge. I'm
You
doing
do
one.
one.
I'm doing one. I'm doing one. Unless of course I decide not to.
The only thing harder than winning a lion is
Taxes. Taxes.
taxes.
Insurance.
AI will never replace.
B&E.
Cigarettes.
Okay. If you track one KPI, what KPI is important to breaking and entering?
Engagements.
Followers.
All right, and the biggest lie in advertising is.
The biggest. What could be one word? Because I have to do one word. Biggest line.
That makes it harder.
It is
If you
hard.
had like
Yeah.
a couple words.
No, I really want to get one word.
Geno, come
Data.
on. Data.
Oh,
It's
nice.
all bullshit.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It's all bullshit.
It's all the
Just go
biggest
off
line.
vibes.
Yeah, the biggest lie in advertising.
Does that help you?
Yeah, it does. I'm activating.
Centering you, center.
Okay.
Yeah, I think measurement.
Yeah,
All right, all right.
Data measurement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know.
Last one. Last question. Favorite thing about Can?
I mean,
You
Just
say
off
the
dome,
people.
off the
Views,
dome, off the
views.
dome. Views. All right. Like this view.
yeah.
Favorite thing about Can, Geno?
I was gonna say Sport Beach is a joke, but
Sport Beach.
yeah, let's go with content.
Content. All right.
Yeah.
This has been Crashing Can Soul and Science with Breaking and Entering. And I just want to say one thing. I know this plant. I just want to say one thing that I think you guys started, and you started earlier, but you guys started to educate and bring the industry to people and really help them grow. And I really think the industry is now growing because of B&E, because it shows you just fucking do shit. Like, just go out there. If you have an idea, just go and do it. Don't overthink it. Just get out there and fucking make it happen.
100%. Nobody cares about what you're doing, so you might as well do whatever you want.
That's right.
So that's Soul and Science Crash You Can. I'm Jason Harris.
I'm Lindsay Harris, and thank you guys for being so passionate. I don't want to keep glazing you, but
No,
honestly,
you can-
I
you
do
can do
think
it.
that the industry is more passionate because of you guys. So thank you.
Gosh.
Thank you so much.
And
You
you
guys
bring
rock.
fun.
Yes.
All right.
This is awesome.
Peace.
Like, subscribe.
Soul and Science is a Mekanism podcast produced by Maggie Bowles, Ryan Tillotson, and Lily Jablonski. The show is edited by Daniel Ferreira with theme music by Kyle Merritt. And I'm your host, Jason Harris.